welcome back to the workshop. It's time for yet another tool from Ustar. Today I want to talk to you about desk vices. When I saw this tool initially, when I was sourcing all of the tools from Ustar, I felt it was something that many of us have been waiting for. It's a desk vise, but it's probably the daddy of all desk vices. It's probably a desk vise to end all desk vices. Would you want another one after this one? Probably not. So I want to show you the one today because I feel it could be absolutely a bit of a game changer for many of us, particularly when we're trying to hold many different parts from many different kinds of kits. So the tool I want to show you is this one. It's called the multi-purpose vise. That's absolutely what it is. It's a vise with interchangeable heads. That's what they've developed. They've realized that many of us model makers want to do model making at different kinds of kits, obviously with multiple different kinds of parts. So what they've created is a vise, as you can see from the end there, with different kinds of heads which you can attach, which have different ways on different shapes, how you can actually hold different kinds of parts. That's the whole idea. Again, as you notice, it comes in Ustar's usual packaging. Again, very robust. It's absolutely solid. This packaging. Very happy to see that, particularly with a vise like this, and of course with the high price of this guy. It's probably the most expensive Ustar tool that I have, but what you're investing in, I feel, is something that will stand you in very good stead for decades into the future. Particularly if you do lots of different kinds of models. If that's you, this guy might be, as I say, it might be a game changer for you. So let's get this guy out of the box. So you get a baggie of various bits and pieces, which we'll come to in a second. Now, just to show you what's in the box. So there, in the center, is the actual obviously desk vise base itself, and these are all of the different heads which you can then attach to it. The idea being, no matter what kind of part you're trying to attach or trying to hold for the manipulation, painting, whatever sub-assemblies, there's a head here which should be able to do the job. Right, so let me get all of this out of the box, and we'll go through each of these in turn, so you guys can see how this could be a bit of a game changer for you, if it's something that you feel is what you've been waiting for. Yes, if only I could this and this with one vise. Well, now you can. So let's leave it there. Excuse me. Okay, so let's look at the base first. So again, this is all metal construction. Again, it's in the anodized aluminium or some kind of alloy, which Ustar uses. Lots and lots of adjustments on here. As you can see, you can adjust this on the base with this control. That locks that in place. What I was very, very happy to see was this, particularly on this gimbal here, because I felt a lot of these kind of vices, particularly the hand vices, they just use friction. You just tighten it with your hands, which never works. Never works very well. Ustar always use this system where you actually lock that ball joint in place with a handle, with a knob, which I really, really like. I like that a lot. When I saw it, that's a massive tick for me when I saw the tool. So no matter what head you've got on, you're going to be able to lock this in place at whatever angle you need. And you can go obviously to that extreme handle, obviously back to vertical, and pretty much any angle you're looking for. So let me just lock it in the vertical, but I want to show you the different heads. So that's your base. Again, very, very robust. That's not going to shift around a lot. It's heavy, which is a great news, because you're going to attach different kinds of heads, and of course then the parts themselves, and you don't want something that's going to move around or even topple over. That's obviously an absolute no, but very happy to see that kind of quality. Now, you get 4 different kinds of head. So let me just pick one. So let's choose this guy. So obviously it fits into the base. There's the grub screw. That's what the Allen key's for. So you can attach this guy. And again, you can, that's a very, very smooth open and close. So for that particular shape, that might be something you want to use for a particular part or a particular sub-assembly, that kind of thing. You also get a spirit in the end, which is obviously very, very useful when you're trying to do something you want to look at. It has to be absolutely level. They give you that built in. That's that shape. Excuse me. Many of you may have seen this kind of shape in a lot of desk vices where it's sort of graduated, but again, very, very smooth operation on that particular shape of attachment, I suppose you'd call it. Again, you can set this to absolute level if that's something you need to. You have, I guess, the ubiquitous one with the holes in for the posts. That's that one, and in fact, that's what's in the baggie. Let's have a look at that. Excuse me, while we actually get to that. So what's in the baggie? In the baggie, you get obviously the Allen key for attaching each of these heads to the base. You get some rubber feet to stop it moving around even further. Nice addition. And as I said, with this one, you get obviously these posts which fit into the end. Let's do that. You get 4 posts which fit in like that. Many of you have obviously have vices that just like this, and of course it's very, very reminiscent of the handheld device, which is also from Ustar. I'll link to that in the description below, because you may want to pair this with that one as well. So you have a multi-use desk vice, but also a hand vice as well. Excuse me. Let me just get a drink. That's better. Hopefully. Yes, so you may want to do that. You may want to pair this with that other vice as well. So you've got all your bases covered, which is how I approach this. I have this guy for pretty much the sort of day-to-day handling of parts. When I do want to do maybe figures on it, and it's something in my hand, the handheld vice is perfect. So have a look at that video. It should also be appearing somewhere on this screen, so you can click on it when you want to have a look. Now, as I said, with these posts, etc., bit of an oversight, I felt. I was expecting some rubber covers for these, which you see a great deal on these. I was expecting that to be in the pack, and they weren't there, which was a bit of a disappointment. So what I've done is I've sourced some of those of the right size. Oh, these guys, yeah. So I'm going to put these in the pack for free as an extra, because I felt you really need some kind of rubber covering to these, and that's not available in the pack. That's a bit of an oversight from Ustar. So I'll be supplying these in the box if you guys decide this is for you. Right, so exactly the same, very, very smooth opening and shutting on this. Again, you have spirit levels on the end, so you can get this absolutely level if you need to. Talking of the posts, let me just show you something else. If you notice in the base here, there's a cutout. Yeah. Now in the bag, you get this circular magnet. The whole idea is that goes into the base, and it will push in. So if you push it in, it will locate, so it doesn't drop out. Yeah, and the whole idea with that is then you have a space for storing these guys, which fit in like that. So if you did want to store this like that on your bench or on a shelf, you can do that. Or of course, you just leave them in the head. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I'll leave them in the head, yeah, because they're there ready and waiting. But if you did want to make it, I guess, more tidier, if you like, it does actually allow you to do that, which was a nice little addition. Because these tend to roll off my bench and disappear. Really, they disappear. I can't find them. They're just gone. So having them available here is quite useful. So that's that one and that one. So excuse me. So the fourth one is this guy with that shape of head. Yeah. Again, very, very smooth, lovely action on that. Again, spirit on the ends, so you can get this absolutely level if you need to. So let's pick one. Let's say this guy, for instance. Let's actually put it on the base. So which one did I say? I said that one, didn't I? So the grub screw is already already out. So let me screw this on, which is like that. So lovely action on the screw thread. So it's a screw thread. Where's my Allen key? There's my Allen key. And then just tighten that up so it doesn't undo itself. So the last thing we want is anything moving around. Not too tight, just finger tight, yeah. And then that is how you would manipulate your parts with this particular head. Let me just undo it. And that's how you would use that. So on my bench, for instance, let's show you that in situ. That's how it sits on my bench. Yeah. Often I'll raise it. Obviously, again using my good old block. Sometimes it will end up like that. Yeah, which is obviously very, very nice. Often I've tried this a lot actually. The storage is okay if you put these in. It's all right, but it does move around. Yeah, it can have a tendency to skid because the rollers obviously move it around, which is not ideal. Which is why I tend not to store these in that space. I tend to store these on its head itself because that's ready to go. Yeah, so it's entirely up to you. That's your call. But I often have it. Excuse me. I often have it like that. That's a lot of the time. That is my actual working space because I like this a little bit higher off the bench. I like it to that sort of height. So when I'm manipulating a part or whatever it is, it's high enough for me to look. And obviously, I'm looking at these parts through my magnifier. Because often I do very, very small modifications to engines, that kind of thing, which I think I mentioned before. So where's Alan? There he is. Again, to remove this guy, that was just finger tight. Don't forget, and then unscrew. There we go, and then we can put the next one on. If you get to the next size or shape of part that you want, let me make sure that's threaded correctly. There it is, and that's how that one would look if you decided to change that head. And often that's what I'm doing. Often it's one head on, one head off because of the different shapes of parts. Obviously, in kits, you never quite know what you're going to get, which is obviously very very interesting. It's one of those. It's why would you want to do that with your workflow? But it is one of those. It's ultimately up to you how you actually want to do that. If it's something you felt, yes, I just wish I could have a different head, because often it's just this one, isn't it? That's really all you get with most desk vices, and sometimes, just with posts, the whole part isn't ideal. It isn't. Wouldn't it be great if there was, this shape, or if it was slightly higher? What about this one? And I think they've thought about that a lot. They've really thought, well, if we're going to make this, what shapes would we want in the vice heads? So I think a lot of thought has gone sort of into that, and how you actually want to manipulate your parts, and again, what's your workflow like? Does it get interrupted because you don't have a voice? Think, how am I going to hold that part? Am I going to have to stab it into some blue tack? The list goes on, doesn't it? So again, if this could transform your workflow, absolutely. If you felt that these kinds of heads really were going to offer you something completely different, and allowed you to get on, with your kit, which is what you're after. Every tool should do that. It should allow you to move on with your project, with your kit, whatever it is. It shouldn't get in the way. And I must admit, I found with this one, because of the different kinds of heads, it did that in spades. It was a great piece of kit. Now, don't get me wrong, it's an investment. It absolutely is. This is not the cheapest tool on the market by a long chalk. So it is an investment, but it may be something that you guys feel is absolutely worth it. It's something that is, I've been waiting for that for years, decades maybe, to do this. Because now I can manipulate this and put something in like that, for instance, at that angle, using that particular head. I can do this, put the whole thing into the jig. no problems at all. And next time, oh, different type of part, different kinds of part, put the next head on, and so on. It could be absolutely transformative. I feel for many of you, which is why I wanted to get this one onto the store as soon as possible. So that is the multi-purpose vise from Ustar. Ideal, as I said, for improving workflow. If you're having issues holding various kinds of parts, this guy could absolutely be transformative for you. As always, any questions, any queries, do come back to me. But of course, keep on modeling.